Hi, this is Vernell with Christ Presence Restored. As you can see, I am outside my back where my garden is. And I did a video maybe about a month and a half ago about the weeds in the garden. So, on that video, I talked about how I needed to go out and weed my garden on a regular basis. On that video, as my garden was just starting to grow, I realized that even in weeding, that I had to be careful because at that baby stage, before they start to mature, that I could pull up my plant thinking that it was a weed because I had not verified what it was. So, as I am now out in my garden, and as you can see, it is just doing so well. I mean, it is flourishing. That in missing a couple of days of weeding, as I came out this morning to work in it, I realized that now there were bugs in my garden. I mean, what? Bugs. And I mean, they're like little tiny things, and there's places on my Thai and on my basil to where they've knotted out. There's like a berry there, and you can see they took a big bite out of it. So I was horrified. I'm like, how did this happen? How do I have bugs in my garden? So I realized that on the outside, this garden looks like there is nothing wrong with it. It has produced that basil plant, that oregano plant right there. I have trimmed it back. I have cut off of it so many times to where it was small, and as you can see, it is huge. So on the outside, just looking at it from this distance, it looks healthy. It looks like there's nothing wrong with it. And as my videos reflect on how God teaches me about myself and how I've misunderstood, the word and what he's trying to do in me, I realized that I had missed a step in taking care of my garden. So I'm like questioning myself, how did I miss this step? And I'm looking, and it's just like, I am so proud of my garden. It's like, look what I have done. So, did I miss that step because I became prideful? Because it was giving me, it was producing. Was I prideful because I was very dutiful in going out and weeding it on a regular basis? Was I prideful because now I was able to share part of my harvest with my friends? I was able to cook with the produce that was now happening in my garden. And I'm looking and it's like, God, what what did I do? What did I miss? And I realized that in working with this gardening, there's several other steps other than that weeding. And I thought at that particular time that weeding was the most important. But that was just to get my foundation done. That was just to give my garden an opportunity to thrive. And now that it's thriving, I had to also remember that something else wanted to have a bite out of my produce. I realized that there were other steps that I needed to take to keep my garden healthy. And as I look at me and I'm like, God is always restoring me because it's Christ's presence restored. He let me realize that sometimes, even though I look like I'm doing good on the outside, there's still work that needs to be done on the inside of me. There's still that place to where I have to put the mirror up close to me so I can examine myself. As you can see, that garden, it looks good in the background. But when I got up close and I examined it, I realized that it had some flaws in it. It had some issues. So I had to do some research. I had to go and find out, what do? I don't want to put harmful chemicals on the produce that I'm going to eat. So I've had to research and find out what natural ways I could do to get rid of the bugs. So it's the same, I feel, with how I'm working out my own soul salvation with fear and trembling. As I find fault in myself, because this is the one thing that I've been dealing with. In a man's heart, he thinks that everything that he does is right. In my heart, I thought that everything that I had done in my garden was right, because once again, it looks really healthy. It does. It looks really healthy. But I missed it. I didn't protect it correctly. I did not protect it fully. I did not give it a whole chance to not be invaded by things that wanted to take my harvest. As this world is going through many, many changes and issues, the one thing that I realize is that deception is what God, Jesus, he talked about several times. He says, let us not be deceived. I was deceived for a moment because what you see looked good and healthy. We have to realize that if I don't continuously keep an eye on my garden, if I don't continuously keep and stay in the presence of God, then I can deceive myself once again by thinking that I'm on the right track, that thinking that I am doing a complete work for Jesus Christ. There are many opinions that are going on in this world, and I'll talk about that in another video. There are many places now to where you have to choose. And as I realize, there's some choices that I don't even have a choice. I'm told that that is what I have to do if I want to participate. If I want to receive what I need, then I have to relinquish my choice. With Jesus Christ, he never makes us do anything, but he allows us to mature and learn from our mistakes. I've had a maturing moment in my garden to realize that it's just not one thing that I have to do, but there's several things that I have to do. So as my relationship with Jesus Christ grows, I just can't pray. I just can't say that I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. There has to be actions. There has to be words. There has to be deeds. There has to be evidence. And it says that at every turn, I have to give a testimony on why I believe what I believe. So I now know that working out my own soul salvation takes several things. I have to read the Word of God. I have to hide it in my heart. I have to let it mature me so that I'm never caught off guard, because I was caught off guard. I don't want you to be caught off guard. God tells us that all we have to do is ask for his wisdom, and he'll give it to us. There's nothing that he will withhold from us, because he calls us friend. He calls us beloved. So now I'm aware of something else that I have to take care of so that my relationship with Jesus Christ becomes greater. It becomes stronger. I rely and trust him more. So as I continue to take care of my garden, now I know that I need to go and get some bugs out, because the bugs are threatening the health of my garden. The bugs in my life is sin. So there's still sin. It says all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. But he gives us grace. so that when He shows us, that we can humble ourselves, and then He'll help us. He'll show us, He'll teach us how to get the sin out of our lives. I pray that this was helpful. I pray that God speaks to you in this video, and He allows you to see an area that you thought that you had it fully covered. I pray that you are blessed. I pray God's protection upon you. And I pray most of all that your relationship with Jesus Christ is rock solid, unshakable, unmovable. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please do. Please share this video. Please give me a like. And any words of encouragement, or if there's anything that you didn't agree with, please inbox me. I would love to have a conversation. So, once again, Price Presence Restored. Have a great day. Bye.